Hello, everyone. In case you don't recognize my usually ever-present voice, my name is Geraud, and I have been honored with being elected to give a student keynote speech for the ISC senior class of 2020. First, I'd like to thank Alpha Pi Mu for giving this canceled banquet a virtual home, and thank all of you for listening. To be honest, I've had trouble composing a traditional keynote message with this speech. Had I been standing in the faculty club with all of you, I'd give an entirely different speech about the ISC class of 2020 and our collective future. Unfortunately, the class of 2020 is soon to be defined by something entirely separate from our academic pursuits and achievements. I'll attempt to draw the proper foresight to share a message with all of you during this unique period of time. To tell our story, I'll start at the beginning, or rather, my beginning. My first interaction with our department was when our advisor, Brittany, allowed 2 ISC students to escort myself and other pre-ISC students to freshman convocation. It was then when Vanessa and Georgia first introduced us to the new ISE cohort program, a program where upperclassmen in ISE would help underclassmen navigate life at Ohio State and what it meant to be an ISE student within the College of Engineering. I was so happy to be assigned a cohort for my first year of college. I couldn't fail even if I wanted to. Think about it for a second. I was basically assigned classmates to be my friends, and I was assigned mentors that had already successfully completed the first 2 years at OSU. I could ask these mentors almost anything and everything about college, Ohio State, or being an ISE student. You have no idea how powerful that was to an out-of-state student nervous about the rigors of university. I immediately sensed the community of helpers within the ISE major who was drawn to be a part of it. I couldn't wait to finish my prereqs and swipe into Baker like my cool mentors. I needed to be a part of the community of solving problems and helping others. In my first class in the ISE program, I learned a lesson I would soon not forget about the Gilbreths. Frank and Lillian Gilbreth were pioneers in motion studies and acted as a foil to Frederick Taylor's stringent stopwatch-focused approach to scientific management. The Gilbreths emphasized their approach with more concern with the welfare of workers, so by saving time in a task or a day, there would be more happiness minutes in the world. Happiness minutes being defined as the time saved for leisure or creative pursuits. Although you may be wondering why I'm referencing an early assignment in ISE 2400, I honestly believe we need to heed the lessons of the Gilbreths now more than ever. The world can always use more happiness minutes. Within the ISE department, I have not encountered a single person that wasn't willing to take some of their time to try to help make my life easier. We are a major of helpful problem solvers, and as problems become more and more complex, we simply become more creative and bring more people together to solve the challenges we face. My ISE community has provided me with so much help that I have accrued many happiness minutes throughout my 5 years at Ohio State. Whether it was going to office hours to better understand a concept, or working cooperatively in Baker with my classmates, or meeting with an alumni ready to help me connect with an opportunity, ISEs were and are always there to help. As we finish our final terms at Ohio State and our final classes in ISE, I urge you to remain hopeful and focused. The systematic view of the world is more valuable now than ever. As modern companies grow and strive to become more lean, and as scientific innovation becomes less of a competitive utility and more of a necessity for continued human life, and as our world becomes littered with large sources of data, it is industrial and systems engineers that will bring meaningful solutions to the problems of the future. Our skill set and practical knowledge demand that we be ready to help the world take the next step forward. So in this time of uncertainty, be certain that you can help. Your degree in industrial and systems engineering from Ohio State uniquely provides you the opportunity to solve a multitude of problems for the betterment of others. Be a friend, be of service, and be a leader solving problems with people-centered solutions. Find meaning in your work and strive to optimize the good that meaning brings about in the world. Although the class of 2020 will inevitably go our separate ways into separate industries across the globe, remember the skills and behaviors becoming of an Ohio State ISE. To borrow from Robert Kennedy, few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events. It is from numberless diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time a person stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he or she sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, crossing each other from a million different centers of energy. Those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of resistance. As I conclude this speech in my time at OSU amid a global pandemic, I am reminded of the words of a hometown hero. Fred Rogers would always ask children during crisis to seek out the helpers in the world as motivation for a better tomorrow. So, I challenge the senior class of industrial and systems engineers to work together and work generously for others. Be the helpers that motivate the next generation of students. Be of service and lead the future successes of the world. Help the next generation of students and professionals leverage new technologies to help improve systems. Use your degree to help the world and others overcome the problems of the day. Maximize the happiness minutes of the world. Never settle for good enough, because things can always be better. RFK also said, "The purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better." I know the class of 2020 will make things better. It's in our nature. Thank you all very much, and God bless.